Well, hello Morenci. So today we're going to be looking at how to build an erosion table. And I'm not sure if that's spelled correctly, but we'll just put a little question mark by it and see what happens. Alright, an erosion table is basically it's a science museum display. And basically it's a table with a slight incline to it. And you have a pump system underneath it. And you run water through it. So we have a pipe down here. The pump pumps things over here. And then you've got a bunch of sand grains or plastic particles or that type of thing that you have sitting inside this table. You pump the water through and around and it erodes away the sand. And you can test different things, like you can put blocks in the way, you can dam things up. It's sort of a fun type of thing. I think it would be pretty cool in the middle school or elementary school. So let's figure out a couple cool ways to build this thing and get rolling. So the thing itself is sort of basic. It's sort of a long, narrow box. I would say maybe 2 foot. And you probably want this thing to be at least 4 to 6, upwards of 8 feet long. In fact, we could probably do 8 foot because that's conveniently the size of a piece of plywood. And some of the really extravagant ones I've seen have actually had all sorts of curves in them. So for instance, the one at the Salt Lake City Natural History Museum it's sort of outrageous, but it's got this sort of weird curvature to it, and the water flows here and then comes down this way. And it was a pretty good one. From the side, these things have a distinct slope to them. So for instance, if this is level, we have a slope to it. And the reason for that is that the water can flow down something and actually create erosion. Water flows downhill, so we have to have a downhill slope for it to flow over. And of course it's going to have legs, and these legs are going to be at different heights or different lengths because, well, you've got to do that in order to get your table. This thing is going to need some crazy strong supports on it, or at least for something the size of a coffee table, because again, we're going to have lots of water flowing in this thing, and that's going to weigh a lot. It's also going to be heavier than most other coffee table type structures, mostly because you've got to worry about containing the water, sealing it, and it's going to have a bunch of wet sand in it. So this surface is going to have a lot of weight pulling down on it. So it's a concern. Also under this thing, we're going to have a pump. That'll take water from this side and pump it over here so it flows this way. And trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, I would probably build the bed out of this, out of steel. Not because it's much stronger than wood. In fact, in this case, what I would probably do is a steel and plywood sandwich, or a steel top with a piece of plywood sitting underneath it. Let's demonstrate that. And the reason for that is the steel is going to be fairly floppy compared to the plywood, but the steel is magnetic, and so we can put magnetic blocks on there to constrict or regulate the flow of water across the table. So this is plywood, and this is steel. This would be our bed design. There should be absolutely no screws that go through this. Everything should be glued and epoxied or that type of, held together in that fashion, because any penetration through this bed would cause leaks. So no penetrations. And I think that's about it. So my name is Mr. Hilbert. This has been an erosion table. If you like what you see, go ahead and like and subscribe over here and watch other videos in this channel area. And of course, leave additional comments and suggestions below so that we can keep doing this. Have a great day.